What's up, everybody? Man, it's your boy, Mr. Dugai, coming at you with another video, man. And tonight I'm going to talk about the LSU Tigers have finally got themselves a defensive coordinator after a very, very long, lengthy search, yo. Before I get into this video, man, for everyone, if you want to give me a follow on my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I'm going to have all that information down in the description box. May not always get a chance to respond to questions and comments on these videos, so feel free to DM me, and whenever I get a chance to, I'll get back at you. Come holler at your boy, yo. Um, I mean, I'm glad we finally got a D coordinator. Clearly the number one person on my list was Marcus Freeman, and to no fault of our own, we didn't get him. But I got it's pros and cons to me about this hiring. It's a couple of things I like. There's a couple of things I'm concerned about. The things that I'm gonna start off with the negative first. The things that I'm concerned about is he hasn't really been a defensive coordinator like that. Um, he's been around. He's been around the block. He spent a lot of time in the NFL. With the exception of this season, he's been known as a coach that has gotten the most out of his secondaries. He was a defensive back coach under Dave Aranda at Wisconsin. That is something that I am really intrigued about. Similar to our offensive coordinator and passing game coordinating hires with Jake Pease and DJ Mangas. What really makes me intrigued about them is, they worked under Joe Brady. And that's the particular offense that we had, that made, this offense unstoppable. Same thing for Dave Aranda. He's worked under, though it was years ago, he worked under Dave Aranda as a defensive backs coach. Then he got promoted to the NFL where he worked with the Miami Dolphins, the Cincinnati Bengals, and most recently the Minnesota Vikings. But he's never really called defensive plays. Um, and this year, man, Minnesota's defense secondary was not very good this year. Now, granted, they didn't have much talent with the exception of a Harrison Smith. They was basically starting rookie corners. So I give them a little bit of a break there. But the defense wasn't great with Minnesota, man. He has worked in Louisiana before years ago. On high school staffs. You know, it, it's one of those hires, man. It's gonna have to grow on me, because I mean, honestly, you know, I like the fact that he's going with NFL guy, just similar to us trying to bring in Ryan Nielsen. It was an NFL guy that had inspirations of being a college, head coach. Had a great unit with the Saints D line, but never really been a defensive coordinator recently. And it's the same thing with Daronte Jones, man. Had good secondaries over the years, with the exception of this year, but hasn't really called plays defensively. But hopefully with his NFL knowledge and his NFL experience and everything, that he could lay this down on the coaching staff. I'm gonna give Coach O the benefit of the doubt with this one, because obviously they had a face-to-face sit-down meeting, and it's something about him that Coach O really liked. Um, I was very upset, last year with the Scott Linehan and Bo Pelini hires, because they were retreads. But Coach O, I give him the benefit of the doubt, because what Coach O has shown, like with the Joe Brady hire, basically is that if it's an up and coming coach that hasn't really, you know, called plays offensively or defensively, when they get in front of Coach O and explain their plan, you know, Coach O seems to buy into it, and it does seems to be a very good plan. So with that in mind, that does make me a little optimistic. Like I said, not overly jumping for joy. I am happy from the standpoint, man. They could have hired anybody but Bo Pelini, and I would be happy. But he's worked under Dave Aranda, which is a plus. Has some good secondaries, which is a plus. But my concern is he's never really been a defensive coordinator like that. But he's on staff. We returned 20 of 22 starters on this team. A lot of players returning on the defensive side of the ball. The secondary was really the biggest problem on this team, giving up big plays over their head. And he's had successful secondaries in the NFL. So with that in mind, that does give me a little positivity, to see how Corey Raymond work together and get this defense fixed, man. But nevertheless, man, welcome to Tiger Nation, Daronte Jones, man. Wishing you well, wishing the best. We need to get this defense back to playing at a top tier SEC level, yo, with the talent that we have. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all tonight. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe, man. I'm going to have LSU and NCAA content throughout the year. Also, tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific, I'm going to do a live Q&A. Y'all come on there, ask me anything, tell me anything. I answer your questions, respond to your comments, and give you a shout out on the live, yo. Y'all should join me. It'll be some good stuff. Until then, yo, y'all have a blessed one. Go Tigers.